Willie D Live.
What's up, family? We got a black police officer who fixed his stank mouth to say that Officer Sean Grayson was justified in murdering Sonya Massie. Where do they come from, fam? Who raised them? Had to be raised by a couple of coconuts. How in the world does someone who is actually a target of that type of behavior fixed his mouth to make some type of statement like that? I get it though, fam. Sometimes when they're in law enforcement, they get brainwashed and they think that the rules don't apply to them. Yeah, fam, they get conditioned. This dude says he was a former member of SWAT. I wouldn't be surprised. Imagine having somebody like that with his mentality out in the field, dealing with the civilized. Dude was on Indisputable with Dr. Rashad Ritchie. Shout out to Dr. Ritchie. You're doing an incredible job. We need more like you. I ain't got no problem with that. So Doc asked dude to give him his perspective. And he said, justification is not him being justified in killing the young lady. Justification is the justified use of force. Why? According to him, she threw boiling water at him. I don't know about y'all, fam, but I watched that video many times. And I did not see her throwing water. I saw her ducking. I saw her apologizing. Why the hell would she throw water and at the same time apologize and duck? Why would she be throwing water at him? She said, I'm sorry, scared to death. Keep in mind, fam, the dude shot her. He shot her exactly in the manner that he said he would shoot her. When she said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, he said, you fucking better not. I'll shoot you in your effing face. And then he proceeded to shoot her in her effing face. See, you gotta not only consider what happened in that moment, but what led to that moment and who you're dealing with, what type of person you're dealing with on both sides. With Sonya Massie, we know for a fact that she was terrified of the police. We knew that because her mother called 911 and told the operator, hey, she's afraid of the police. You know, she called 911. I'm afraid. And when he got to her house, this big old 6'3", what is he, 6'4", something like that. He weighed double the amount that she did. He stood over a foot higher than her, a foot taller than her. And she was scared to death. She said, don't hurt me. So she was the one who was afraid. She's the one who was afraid. This dude gunned that woman down, and then you got this so-called brother who fixed his mouth to say, no, he was justified. Family, you know what? You're always gonna find one. It's always gonna be one, at least one. It just trips me out how somebody, especially in his position, could think that way, because we've seen police officers have racism applied against them also. So you would think that they know that they ain't special. But all kinfolk ain't kinfolk. It just lets you know, dude is a world-class coconut. Y'all know what a coconut is? Brown on the outside, white on the inside. And I bet you $1 to a donut, most of the people who follow him, subscribe to his channel, are not black. Because they love to agree when he disagreed with black folks. But he'll get his wake-up call. He'll get that end wake-up call sooner or later. How could anybody watch that video? Anybody in their right mind watch that? You know, I know how they can watch it and determine that the police officer was justified. Just put a black face there and he's justified. Switch it out, let it be a different color, especially white, and he was not justified. I bet you anything that that so-called officer, Brandon Tatum, would have said the opposite had the victim been white, because they're hardwired to think that way. They're hardwired to talk that way, or they're gonna mess with their money. See, people like him really hate themselves. He really don't think that black people deserve to be breathing. He really don't see black people as equal human beings, or even as human beings, period. He don't love himself. Because if he did, he'd have to put himself in those same shoes. He'd have to put his mama in those shoes. That's what Dr. Ritchie asked him. You know, what if this was your mama? Would you still feel the same way? And guess what Coconut Number One said? Well, I'd say the same thing. I feel it. He probably would, because he got to hate his mama to make the type of statements that he make. Ain't no damn way dude was supposed to shoot that woman. He got about 15 feet between them and a whole countertop. Ain't no way he felt his life was on the line, that he had to kill that woman. Keep in mind, fam, consider the character of the officer. 6 jobs in the last 4 years. Multiple DUIs. The dude was a problem. He was a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. And it finally happened. The police department that he worked for need to be sued. His estate needs to be sued. Whatever he got, whatever crumbs he got, need to be taken away from him. His pension should be taken away from him. The city should be sued. The county should be sued. Everybody involved failed Sonya Massie except her mother, because her mother did try to do something about it. She knew her daughter was dealing with some dangerous people. Unfortunately, she just didn't realize how dangerous those uncivilized mutts were. Brandon Tatum, you're part of the problem. Your mama should be embarrassed and your daddy should have pulled out. No more talk.